Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thanks again for joining my YouTube channel and liking and subscribing to my videos. I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about something so dear and important to my heart, which is success. And it kind of hit me yesterday when I was talking to my girlfriend about success and what it really means. Now, just a little background. I left a corporate job paying me well over six figures a year, in the mid, six figures, if you will, to decide to pursue, being a YouTube speaker. Also, most importantly, being a motivational speaker, and that's my goal in life. So, taking that risk, I started, making videos, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to start posting these videos on YouTube and giving people a chance to get to know who I am, get to hear my story, and get to see if there is a way that I can help someone that potentially have lived the kind of lifestyle I lived or experienced what I experienced and actually have a better life for themselves." So, talking with my girlfriend yesterday and talking about success, it hit me that success really is tied mostly to time. I'll give you guys a little story about my girlfriend and why I think it's very crucial for you guys to know that it's possible for anybody. My girlfriend got here about 4 years ago from East Asia, Southeast Asia, and she didn't really speak English that well. She was someone who, when she came here, she started working in, she started with a job in the restaurant industry. And, of course, things are not very, very easy for people who work in the restaurant industry. Now, the beauty about her story is 4 years later, she's actually purchased her first house, and she's now looking at purchasing another property that she's going to be doing a fix and flip on. This is all within 4 years. So we were talking yesterday, and she mentioned something about her being so worried, and there was like this pressure of, oh, she has to perform because she felt that maybe she needs to get a second job or something to that effect. And for a second, it hit me. It was like, okay, so this is what success is. And success, and the reason, this is also another reason why a lot of people don't experience success. She's 2 weeks away from closing on her first home. She's also 6 weeks away from getting through her first fix and flip. So this is someone who came from nothing that now is in a position to make triple her income, or three times her income from the year prior, right? And she's so worried that she's thinking, man, maybe I should take a different path and go get a second job. So to me, it hit me, said, I understood that what she had to do and what she was worried about wasn't the fact that she was going to do what she said she was going to do. It wasn't the fact that she wasn't putting in the work to get the things out of life that she wanted. It was just the fear of time and wanting it now. And that's what I understood about success is a lot of us are on this path of trying to achieve the best life that we can have. A lot of us are trying to be able to, get success into our lives. And right before we get there, right before things take that turn for us, the first thing that we do is we look for alternative routes. And I've seen this happen many times. I'll give you guys a story of my own experience. In 2019, I had actually, taken the same step. I worked for Microsoft. I was making, very good money as a business analyst with Microsoft. Uh, but I decided within 3 weeks that I didn't really want to do this, that I didn't want to be in the corporate world. So I took a chance on myself and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and go out on my own and actually look into building my own wealth. And when I did that, I would tell you something that happened with me was I actually achieved good success early. And then things got a little bit, tough for me. And when those things got tough, I didn't give myself enough time and enough of a chance to continue to focus on the things that I wanted to do. And instead, what I did was I took the safe route and I found the next employer. And I even took a pay cut to go back to corporate America, right? Eventually, I was able to build myself back up because I knew how to work the corporate America system, if you will, to allow myself to get to a point where I can now make the income that, that six figure income, if you call it success, right? Because it's success to some people. And when I was able to get there, I still felt this nagging feeling, this feeling of myself being pulled down. And I kept thinking, this is not all there is to life. And then, of course, now I took that leap of faith again, and this time I always constantly remind myself that I don't want to be back in that same position, because the worst feeling that I ever had was that feeling of defeat, that feeling of regret, knowing that I actually had to go back on my word. So it was the same thing with my girlfriend. When I was talking to her yesterday, I said, just imagine this: you're 2 weeks away from closing on your first home. And not only that, you're about 6 weeks away from completing your first fix and flip. So if you got a second job, that second job is probably going to pay you $1,000 a month, maybe in a $1,500, $2,000 a month, because you can't work so many hours. You can only work so many hours in a day, right? And if that's all you're getting, what you're going to make from your flip and from your rental property, from your house that you're renting out, you're going to be in a position where you're going to make that amount of money within a span of 3 months. What you're going to make in a year, you're going to make in 3 months. So how does it make sense to get a second job? You know, and I used an analogy, and it kind of made her understand exactly what I was saying. I said, if you remember, I was very hungry in the afternoon. I had put some rice on the rice cooker, and I walked away from it without remembering to actually turn the rice cooker on. And then I went back and I noticed that the rice cooker and the rice hadn't, I wasn't cooked, but I was starving. And I told myself, I said, I have a diet that I've been working on, I've been following. And at this point, I had a choice. My choice was to ruin my diet, eat something, whatever the first thing I can lay my hands on because I was starving, or to go back, let the rice cook, and actually, eat my diet like I normally do. And when I turned the rice cooker on, this time I made sure the rice cooker was on. I found myself going back to that rice cooker every 30 seconds. And then it hit me. You can't make the rice cook faster, no matter how many times you go and look at it. Guys, it's the same thing with success, guys. You can't force things to happen, no matter how many times you run back to it. But if you trust the process, that at some point your success is going to come to you, just like at some point that rice is going to get cooked and I'm going to get an opportunity to eat. It's the same thing as success for you. If you trust that process and you believe in it, you just have to continue to do the work and let things happen the way it's supposed to happen. A lot of us, we decide right before we experience that victory that we have worked so hard for, when we don't see things happen our way, we walk away from it. Les Brown uses this bamboo tree analogy. He says, when a bamboo tree is planted in the ground, it takes 90 days for it to grow out of the ground. But before that process, you have to water this plant, you have to tend to this plant for at least 5 years before you actually get to see any results. And that's something that is so important for us, folks. It's the fact that we have to remember that at the end of the day, what we want is going to come to us. As long as you believe, as long as you put in the work. Now, if you don't do any work, you don't do anything, nothing's going to come to you, because seeds don't grow out of the ground without being planted. Now, as long as you plant the seeds, you put in the work, you do what you're supposed to do, it's nothing but as guaranteed success will come your way. You just have to believe it. The biggest issue a lot of us face is right before that seed germinates, right before we see our first sprout of something to give us that hope, we go in and we pull the tree out of the root, we pull the roots out of the ground. So guys, what I'm saying is, allow your tree to grow. Allow it to grow the way it's supposed to grow. Let it come out there. Let it do what it's supposed to do for you. There are people out there like myself that believe in you. We see the potential you have. We know what you can do. And I am so excited to see your success. I'm looking forward to seeing your creativity. And don't deny us, the rest of the world, of your presence and your reason for being here on earth. Thank you again for listening to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I would like to get to a goal of 10,000 subscribers by June of 2022, and I trust that you guys are going to help me make it happen. Take care.